What should I review first? There's so many great games that a lot of people might not have heard about, and I just don't know where to start. Who the heck could this be?
Hey Justin, how's it going?
Oh wow, it's an alien! Oh my goodness!
I'm not an alien.
Can you believe this?
Who are you talking to?
This is amazing. This is just out of this world. That's the game I'll review. Out of this world. Thank you so much. Oh, this is a great idea.
Bitch is crazy.
I love this painting. It was originally the box art for several versions of the game, and now it serves as the background on the title screen of the newest PC release. This picture just fires me up to play this game. I want to charge onto a cliff overlooking a sublime alien landscape and shout a challenge at the top of my lungs. Hey aliens, I'll take you all on. You can't stop me. Okay, this game is actually pretty hard, especially on your first time through. There's plenty of ways to die, and you'll probably see all of them. Heck, this game is so brutal, even the title went into hiding. I'll explain what I mean. This game was designed almost single-handedly by a French programmer named Eric Shahi. When Mr. Shahi released his masterpiece in Europe in 1991, he titled it Another World. But when Delphine Software International decided to release it in the States, they found out that there was already a television program running with the title Another World. So they changed the name to Out of This World. So they released it in the States, and then guess what they found out? There was a television show that had just debuted. Its title, Out of This World. Go figure. You can find this game for plenty of systems, including the Super Nintendo, Sega CD, Sega Genesis, DOS, and Windows. Most of the gameplay footage in this review comes from the updated Windows version, which has slightly better graphics than the original, but not by much. This is a testament to how beautiful the graphics in this game have been since the beginning. This was one of the first games to use polygon-based graphics, and the technique worked so well in this and other early games that once it caught on in the 32-bit era, almost every game started using polygonal graphics. To show off the graphics, the game starts with a cutscene that establishes the story and introduces us to our protagonist, Lester. He's a young physicist who makes the mistake of playing with his particle accelerator during a thunderstorm. If anyone watching this works on a Large Hadron Collider, please take note. Anyway, lightning strikes the accelerator and somehow works with the exotic particles, teleporting the poor guy to another world. Thankfully, Lester isn't defenseless. At the beginning, he can kick the slugs to death, and after a short while he gets his hands on the coolest laser gun I've ever seen. It has 3 firing modes. If you just tap the fire key, it shoots a red laser that will instantly kill just about any opponent, disintegrating their flesh and leaving only a skeleton. If you hold the fire key until a small orb appears at the end of the gun barrel and then release it, it forms a force field that protects you from your opponent's red lasers, until it disappears or is destroyed by a more powerful shot. Finally, if you hold the fire key until the orb gets bigger and then releases it, it fires a large blue laser that can destroy force fields, walls, doors, rock formations, aliens, small buildings, small towns, large animals, large hadron colliders, tanks, planes, and automobiles, satellites, yellow submarines, Mexican jumping beans, and overly long jokes. While we're talking about controls, one of the cool things about this game is that Lester's actions are somewhat context sensitive. In different situations, you can do things that you can't do otherwise, like randomly press buttons on a control panel, swing on a vine, make an alien guard stick his hands up at gunpoint, or my personal favorite, kick a guard in the groin, grab your gun while rolling across the floor, and come up shooting. The control scheme is pretty simple, but there's an extra level of depth added in by situations like these. The first time through, Players are constantly being surprised by gameplay changes that are sudden and yet generally intuitive to figure out. There are plenty of puzzles, but you won't have to worry about inventory management or word puzzles like in a lot of other adventure games. Speaking of word puzzles, I don't know what the heck these aliens are saying, but it sounds kinda cool, don't you think? Another World is a very short game. After running through it a few times, I can beat it in about an hour, and I once saw a speed run that only took about 17 minutes. On your first playthrough, I would expect it to take between 2 and 6 hours, depending on how often you get stuck. However, the game is so entertaining and atmospheric that it's definitely worth playing through at least once, no matter how fleeting the experience may be. In fact, the short length of the game could be considered a good thing if you don't have time in your busy schedule for a longer adventure.
Hey, Justin, I just saw Andrew walk by. What's going on?
What version should you buy? That's a very good question. If you have a Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis, you can find the cartridge online or in just about any used video game store for less than $10. A little more than that if you want the box and instruction manual. The version I would highly recommend, however, is the Windows one. There's a level select feature that lets you quickly jump to whatever level you want without having to use the password system, and you can play with original or updated graphics. For only $8.99, you can download it from the official website directly to your computer. Also, a semi-official sequel was made, more or less without Mr. Shai's input. It's called Heart of the Alien. While it's not as good as the first game, it's not too bad either. Heart of the Alien only came out on a system called the Sega CD, and the original disc contains both the original game and the sequel. So if you're one of the 10 people who owns a Sega CD, you really should pick up a copy.
Do it once more through. Don't stop recording.
What's going on?
Cue Justin.
Cue Justin.
I forgot the line.
What version should you buy?
What version should you buy? It's so atmospheric and entertaining that I just mess up and completely
Start over.
his masterpiece in Europe in 1991. It had the title Another World. Wait.
No waiting. Go.
Are we recording?
Yes, we're recording.
No, that won't.
Oh.
See, you got me laughing. I